From a new base for airBaltic to the first private A220, there's a bunch of A220 news to cover today. Right off the bat, we need to talk about airBaltic and the news that Simple Flying broke. airBaltic will be opening a new base next year outside of the Baltics somewhere else in Europe. Recently, they opened their latest base in Estonia, wherein they've performed well, and now they're looking at further expansion. When I first heard about this, my guess was that the base will be somewhere in Eastern Europe, perhaps Czechia, Hungary, Romania, or maybe even Greece. But I was totally wrong. While technically outside of the Baltics, the airline actually isn't going that far away from home. On December 14th, it was announced that the new base will be in Tampere, which is Finland's second most populous metro area after Helsinki. This seems like a great place to set up a fourth shop because Finns are already familiar with airBaltic, and Tampere isn't saturated with airlines, so it won't be quite a risky play for airBaltic. Starting in May 2022, Tampere residents will be able to fly airBaltic to Malaga, Frankfurt, Munich, Oslo, Copenhagen, and Rhodes. I'm quite excited to see this cool airline expand into new territory because I love seeing airlines with modern aircraft succeed. They've been doing so well that they've also recently announced a codeshare partnership with Emirates. Recently, airBaltic started flying to Dubai, making that one of the world's longest A220 flights, by the way. In doing so, they've unlocked the opportunity to work with Emirates. Now customers will be able to make itineraries to and from not only Riga, but also Tallinn, Vilnius, and Helsinki. Congrats airBaltic on your success. Next up, we'll briefly talk about Breeze Airways, which is another A220 operator. But they have been using Embraer E-Jets to get started before the airline's A220s could be delivered. But as those get nearer, the airline is already planning ahead, and the founder, David Neeleman, is in talks with Airbus regarding some auxiliary fuel tanks that would extend the airplane's range a couple extra 100 miles. This is all because Neeleman has his eyes on Europe. But unlike with his other baby, JetBlue, Neeleman isn't looking to fly to the most competitive routes like New York or to London, but instead to and from secondary cities in both the US and the UK. The example he gave during an interview was the likes of Burlington, Vermont. Now that's pretty dang small, but so is the A220, so it could make sense. It's reminiscent of what Norwegian Air started to do with the 737 MAX before going bankrupt. But Norwegian's fatal error was its rapid expansion. Breeze is focused on only operating routes that work and expanding sustainably. This is apparent in their willingness to quickly trim routes that weren't working for them within a short amount of time. They're adaptive, and I believe that they will be responsible and analytical in deciding how they get to Europe whenever that time comes. Moving on to bougie news, the world's first private A220 has been spotted rolling out of a paint shop in Canada. This jet belongs to a Dubai-based hotel chain called Five. Despite wrapping up the paint, the plane isn't being delivered anytime soon though, because its luxurious interior has yet to be installed. This will take place in the US by a company called Comlux. Then, after months of anticipation, the plane will finally be flown to Dubai in early 2023, where it'll fly extremely affluent hotel guests. Five isn't the first hotel brand to own its own aircraft. Las Vegas Sands has a fleet of wide-body aircraft that are used to ferry big spenders from Asia. Four Seasons rents aircraft occasionally and hosts world-spanning expeditions. Spanish hotel company Iberostar owns World to Fly, which flies between its properties in Latin America and Spain. It's always interesting to see how commercial aircraft are put to use when not flying with your average airline. And it's cool to see an A220 getting used to that bougie lifestyle. I'm sure we'll see many more private A220s get produced in the coming years. Wrapping up this episode for today, we have the news that brand new Italian airline Ita has placed an order with Airbus for a little bit of everything, including 7 A220s. No details were given on exactly when deliveries would begin, but Ita's new blue paint scheme was unveiled, and honestly, with all the Euro white paint schemes these days, I'll take it. What's funny though is that with Breeze Airways and now Ita, there will be 2 airlines in the world with blue A220s. Another airline that has secretly considered purchasing the A220 is Southwest, another blue carrier. I say Play, or maybe EasyJet, needs to purchase some A220s so we can get some other colors. And in fact, Qantas just made my wish because they just ordered some A220s themselves. But anyways, thanks for watching my video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.